Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. US markets were up about 0.6 to almost about 0.9%. The deadlock as far as budget and the debt ceiling very much continues, no real resolution in sight, and the 10-year bond yields continues to hover around 2.6 to 2.63. European markets were also up about 0.75% to almost about 1.5%, as we had some positive news in the form of resolution of political uncertainty in Italy. And when we look at the Asian markets today morning, China is shut, but the rest of the markets are marginally down. The Nikkei in particular is down almost about 1%, and same is the case with Hang Seng, as the yen has appreciated against the dollar. And even SGX Nifty is suggesting that we are going to open down about 25 odd points. In terms of flows, friends, FIs were net buyers in the cash market to the tune of 541 crore. The domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of about 340 odd crore, and in the index futures the FIs were buyers to the tune of about 318 crore. Back home, our markets continue to remain stable around 5900 odd levels, and we had seen a good amount of action in certain pockets like Tata Motors, Tata Steel, Hindalco, and even some of the mid-cap names like United Phosphorus and few others had a good run. At the same time, some of the pockets like Pharma had seen profit booking, particularly Dr. Reddy, and a couple of other names were down about 2 to 3%. On that note, let me invite Shaival to take us through important F&O cues and ideas that we can have in the F&O markets.
Good morning friends, let's have a view at derivatives. Friends, we've been seeing that the markets have been trading in a range of around 5,900 to 6,000 from past couple of trading sessions, and now what we have seen in Friday's trade is that some short positions were built up in the market, as around 1.84 lakh shares were added in open interest with a marginal decrease in the cost of carry, in spite of FIs being net buyer of around 837 crore in the futures and options segment. The PCR ratio is stable at 1.09, as the activity on the call as well as put side is almost equal, and which is clearly visible if we have a look at the current option matrix. But 5,900, which is also a weekly VWAP, would act as a good support for the market on closing basis, and on higher sides probably 6,100 is what we are targeting for this particular week. Now from intraday perspective, friends, what we recommend for buying is Petronet LNG with a stop loss of 122 rupees 70 paisa. Thank you.
Here are the important news and events that we are tracking today. First of all, SEBI has approved new rules for streamlining the registration for the FIIs. The idea is to attract more foreign institutional investors into the market, and Island FS Engineering and company is looking at doing a rights issue, and they have called for a board meeting for the same on October 9. Finance Minister P. Chidambaram has said that RBI would shortly issue almost about 7 banking licenses by January, and some of the strong contenders for the banking license are Aditya Birla Nuvo, L&T Finance and Reliance Capital. So expect some action into these names in today's market. And some negative news for the Walmart Bharti retail business, because there are indications that this entire plan is not tenable, so they are trying to find a way out of this. Coal India's 5% follow-on offer is likely to come into the market by the second week of December. There has been some reports that they might just drop this idea, but again we have this news. So Coal India could remain a bit negative on the back of this. And Ranbaxy Laboratories, after all the controversy around its import alert and the plants not being allowed to produce for the US markets, is scouting for the US FDA approved plants in India. Telecom companies whose licenses have been cancelled under the 2G scam will not be allowed to bid for any further spectrum, so their entire investment could actually become a loss. And ICICI Bank has raised alarm over its loan default possibility by the Dabhol power plant, which is under a junk category right now because of the unavailability of the fuel supply. So this news could be a bit of a negative for all the companies which have given loan to Dabhol Power. This includes ICICI Bank and clutch of other banks. Coming to the stock specific news, private equity firms are looking for a 24% stake in Bombay Dyeing, and the reports are that as against the current market cap of about 1000 crore, the 24% investment could be made at a market cap of almost about 500 crore. So this is definitely a big positive for Bombay Dyeing. So one can go long on Bombay Dyeing with a stop loss of 52.25 and a target of about 56 to 57. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a great trading session and see you tomorrow at the same time.